This year seemed to start off with no positive news, except for COVID. There were positive COVID cases. But don't worry, this isn't a depressing video about COVID. We'll keep it upbeat with a much lighter topic. At one point, we had a daily murder. When we missed a day, then we'd have a double murder the next day. Some of my friends who were keeping track were worried that we'd record a murder a day for the whole year. I was not worried about 364 murders because I failed BGCSE math and I don't think I can count that high. Also, because I've developed a foolproof method to not getting killed in the Bahamas. And that is what I'm going to share with you. But first, we must figure out, what is murder? Baby, don't hurt me no more. Based on domestic related incidents and how many times the police say the victim knew their attackers, I'm inclined to believe that Bahamians think that love and murder are the same thing. No, they're not. I know what you're thinking. Murder is when one person kills another person, except it's not. Like if the government kills you in an execution, it doesn't count. Of course, you don't even have to worry about the government being the cause of your death if you had a time machine to go back a decade and a half to the last time we executed someone. But Stephen, what about police-involved shootings? Hey man, I'm just trying out. In my research, I also discovered a religious loophole. Using the principles of marital rape, that is, a man can't rape his wife because the two become one flesh, and you can't rape yourself. If a woman kills her husband, she could argue that it was suicide because they're the same person. How you gonna try somebody for suicide? You can't, because they dead. I promise you, any woman that uses this as a legal defense has a good chance of not going to jail for murder, but being committed to sandalins for wasting the court's time and thinking that the judge is an idiot. The truth is, most times when one person kills another person, it's not technically a murder because, only a court can decide if it was a murder based on a variety of things. Intent, pre-existing conditions, the zodiac sign of the alleged killer. If it's a Scorpio, they definitely did it. What sort of job the person had. If the person is fixed transmissions, they guilty. Because them dudes, they making a killing. But if the person works at the passport office, then they clearly innocent. Honestly, I can't imagine a world where somebody from the passport office could plan and carry out a murder in a timely manner. The person probably died from old age first. What we are going to discuss in this video is homicide. That's what the police count, and that's what your uncle keeps posting videos of in the family WhatsApp chat. Homicide is when one person kills another person. But titling the video How Not to Get Homicide it's not a catchy title, so I didn't. Chapter 1. Don't be on bail. There are 3 things that are a death sentence in the Bahamas: hot coleslaw, being known to police, and being out on bail. Now, in all fairness, in 2022, more people were killed that were known to police than people who were out on bail. But you can't help being known to police. 1, you don't know what the police know. And 2, you kind of have a knowable face. That's why your wanted poster says, Charles Hanna, alias Undersue. What you do have control over is bail. If your lawyer tells you, I can probably get you bail, you have to ask yourself the question, how? It takes 3 to 5 years to have a trial. How can you get a bail hearing in less than a month? I'm sure there are differences between each of the courts and the requirements, but unless you're being paid to go to court, they all look the same to the rest of us. So once again, how? Ask yourself, is your lawyer the type of person that if they gave you a plate of curry chicken, white rice, and coleslaw, that you have to ask yourself, you microwave this coleslaw? If so, then maybe your well-being isn't in the forefront of their mind. And they, like everyone else, knows that if you get bail in February, it frees up their Easter. However, if your lawyer is not the type to serve you hot coleslaw, then express to them your concern about being gunned down in the road like a... I would say dog, but I've never seen a dog get shot. People like dogs in the Bahamas. So, gunned down like a human being that's been gunned down? Chapter 2, don't be related to anyone who may be a criminal. Now this one is a little tricky because it's the Bahamas. It's a very small country. Everyone is related to a criminal, a politician, or a pastor. Sometimes all 3. Sometimes all 3 are the same person. Let's just eliminate the outside children that your father had, and the outside children that your grandfather had, and the outside children that your great-grandfather had. And based on how math works, you're probably related to at least one person you've been on a date with. The good news is that inbred cousins are less likely to be involved in gang warfare because they're born with 2 left hands, but somehow still right-handed. What was the point? Sometimes someone is trying to kill your sibling or your parent or your avunculate. And in error, they shoot you because you are hanging out with them. Those are the type of relations to avoid. Don't go to funerals if they're going. Don't take pictures with them. In fact, if anyone asks you if you're related to Charles Nelson Hannah, not only should you say, no, I'm not, add in, I'm an orphan, for good measure. Just the protagonist of a Disney movie, nothing to see here. Don't act like you've not been looking for a reason to cut your brother off. From that time when he borrowed your fresh tennis before you even get to wear them, and all he do is wear them to PE in grade 10 with no socks on a day that it was raining, and then the coach made them run laps in the wet field. This the perfect time to cut him off. But what if I don't know he's a criminal? You're right, and you can never be too sure. Cut him off for safety. And while you're at it, you might as well cut your mother off too. After all, she is the one who born you in poverty. Had she had you when she had already made her first $4 million, you wouldn't be watching this video on your phone sitting at your desk instead of doing them spreadsheets. Honestly, the fact that you wasn't born rich is already a crime. So yeah, avoid her too. Chapter 3, don't leave your house. But also, don't stay in your house? Just as a side note, statistically speaking, according to the 2022 crime stats, the most likely time to be killed is after office hours. 60% of people that year were killed between 4 p.m. and 12 a.m., which either means that killers have 9 to 5s or they hate people who do. It is really a sign of the times when even murderers have to get a second job to make ends meet. In the 80s, people were full-time criminals. Now, it's just a part of the gig economy. Yeah, he's an event planner, but his true passion is homicide. You're minding your business on your way back from a rival event planning function. That's dangerous. Don't you realize that streets are the #1 place to be killed in the Bahamas? 48.4% of killings happened in the streets in 2022. That means if you need to leave your house, please teleport to avoid mistakenly being killed. You may say, what if I don't use the streets to get from one place to the next? You mean other? 19.5% of people killed in 2022 were killed in bushes, bars, or the beach, as well as other. All places where you didn't tell your girlfriend that you were going, so we can only assume that you were taking it as a shortcut. Once again, if you're going to leave your house, the only murder-proof way that we know of is teleportation. So why not just stay home, lock your doors, and watch videos on TikTok? More people were killed in houses than were killed in bushes in 2022. In fact, bushes, bars, and beaches are statistically safer than houses, which is weird because if I was being chased by a gunman, I wouldn't think, I probably have a better chance in that dark patch of bushes than going inside my own house. Solution. If you want an actionable guide to avoid being killed, there's a simple 2-step plan that you can put in place. Time machine and birth control. Some will tell you rather than rewrite the laws of the universe and punch a hole in the space-time continuum, we can, work to make the country a better place, improve the lives of others, stop being selfish, reclusive narcissists, grabbing every penny and letting the next generation fend for themselves, and blaming people who were born into a horrible situation, blah, blah, blah. Time machine, birth control, the only Stephen-approved method to avoid being killed. Appendix. Who can we blame for murder? Haitians. Is it the Haitians' fault? Of course not. Why would Haitians kill Bahamians? The less Bahamians there are, the less people that need houses built, landscaping, eat griot and pickles, get their clothes tailored, etc. As much as Bahamians hate Haitians, we love spaghetti for breakfast. And even if you're an old-fashioned racist who won't eat Haitian food, if you're buying Bahamian food from anywhere, it's probably a Haitian or someone of Haitian descent cooking it. Conch salad, peas and rice, non-lumpy grits, coconut tart, guava duff that doesn't taste like wet cardboard. Only 2 people know how to make these dishes without referring to a recipe book. Your Grammy and Haitians. So once again, why would Haitians kill Bahamians? That would be like a Chinese restaurant in the ghetto serving food. It doesn't make sense. Why would they do that when they can just sell liquor? In fact, I bet the murder of Bahamians is actually a plot against Haitians. Think about it. Dead Bahamians only hurt Haitians. So only someone who hates Haitians would kill Bahamians, which means it must be Bahamians killing Bahamians. We Bahamians are most likely the problem. And I know what you're going to say. Don't say we. I ain't killed nobody. Yeah, but you also didn't train for the Olympics. That never stop you from saying we win a gold medal. And if it's we for the good times, then it gotta be we for the bad. We don't invest in education. We litter. We exploit our workers and don't pay them a fair wage, so they have to work 3 jobs and can't spend time with their children. We are stealing and we are raping and we are bribing government officials and we are killing Bahamians. But we will blame it on someone else because we refuse to accept the responsibility for we actions. We will blame the Haitians or the gays or the women for everything. And if not them, then we'll blame the gay Haitians or, God forbid, a gay Haitian woman. So this is the most controversial thing I'm going to say this month. All of these murders give me hope. The only thing that we know about these murders is that a bunch of people wanted something so bad that they were willing to kill for it. To not just injure somebody else, but basically end their own lives, because once you murder someone, you will be murdered. Those are the rules. Imagine somebody having so much passion and desire for something that they are willing to not just kill for it, but die for it. See, the problem is the passion and the energy is misguided. Will killing that person make you richer? Not enough to buy a house or to even take a trip to Luther. Imagine if you could actually get these passionate people to see what the actual problems are in their lives and in their communities and focus that energy on the actual problem rather than just murder. This will be on the exam. Why?